Hello, hello, hello. Today's not a combo guide, a tier list, play this character, or trying to bring you into the ways of the fist of power. What we are doing today is a series of case studies in all characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and today, yes, you guessed it, we are covering the one and only Jiren. Now, Jiren, a type of character at a glance, this character, he exudes power. He hits hard. He's got great control on the screen. And knockdown as well. Really fast character. Cool. You like obviously baiting your opponents out with seeing if they're going to do projectiles or not and having counters, then Jiren is for you, especially with fantastically cool combos. See if I got some combo in the bag. And one of the coolest level ones, then Jiren is definitely for you. Now, as always in these case studies, I like to talk about zones. So we like to use grounded concepts. You're gonna hear me talk about up close, mid range, and far. So this is what we're gonna call this concept zone. So we're gonna talk about a character in the up close range zone, mid range, and far. I'm gonna go through their buttons on the floor, in the air, super specials before we delve into typical win conditions for these characters, game plans, and fighting against them. So let's begin. So Jiren, it's 5L. Obviously, straight punch, -3, standard 5L. 5LL is -10, so this is something probably you won't really use a lot as Jiren. His 2L actually is 10 frames, but this is a medium starter. So if this was able to hit the opponent, it might not hit low, but this is -2. And Jiren can go into this from 5LL. So at any point, Jiren can stop his string here, and he can stagger indefinitely. So playing around this 2L is kind of one of Jiren's biggest tasks. What you do with Jiren. It's 5M, great range, as you see there. This is probably one of the main tools you use as Jiren. Works from mid range. One of his main tools that he'll be using from obviously the mid range as an engagement tool that Jiren will use here. He's 2M, 17 frames there, but obviously up close is 13 frames, is -9. So this is great range to really catch the opponent. So while your opponent is falling asleep, Jiren can throw out this 2M here. Now this way it gets tricky. Jiren's 5H is an actual grab. So Jiren's 2H is his 5H is actually a grab that Jiren has here. And depending if you're in the corner or not, Jiren can obviously extend the combo with certain characters and obviously with certain prerequisites. So that's a grab. It's 2H, obviously 15 frames. Great range though. Look, if you look at his range, Jiren can catch someone obviously off guard here by just throwing out his 2H over here. So the opponent has to be very, very wary. Now let's go to his buttons in the air. Jiren's cross up JL. So in the air, this is a good tool for using against super dashes. That's a straight punch. So Jiren can use this against super dashes. Just do it again. I'm too slow, too fast for him. So Jiren, he's got a sturdy 2L that he can use against super dashes. His IDJH, the Saiyan JH, the double axe handle. Obviously this is kind of your main approach tools, and one of the main things you probably use against super dashes, while Jiren is kind of closing gaps to try and disengage from the mid-range to far. Jiren will use that tool a lot. His JM, a bit of a weird JM. You won't primarily use this in cross-ups, so as you see here, it's a bit hard. You probably use all of his JL for something you use a bit more. He has a J2H, so Jiren's able to do a simple mix-up like this towards his opponent. Instead of going to this into the low, Jiren can do this into the high as well. So Jiren can really mix up his opponents. But unlike most characters, this is -8 on block. But Jiren can cancel it. So Jiren can set up situations where he really mixes up his opponent. But he can do here. Now let's delve straight into his supers, because Jiren has some of the coolest supers in the game. He's level 1. There was an air as well. So it goes straight towards you. His other level 1, bang! The one bang. Jiren gives you the taste of invult there, and his level 3. True power. Power of the fist. Believe in the fist only. So that's Jiren's level 3. Now let's go straight into specials, because this is where we're going to be a while. Jiren has quite a few of them. So Jiren's 5S is a kind of, he has a great 5S. 21 frames for one of the fastest projectiles here in the game. So Jiren controls this space here. So here, most other characters, before they even bat an eyelid, if you look at Kefla's one, being 22. If Jiren's already doing it, you see that there, Jiren will hit them. So you see, that's the same time. Jiren will beat her every single time, before she even bats an eyelid. Jiren also has his JS. So this is a good move. This will kind of trade with a lot of them. So this is a great tool. His JS, his instant JS is a really good tool to kind of catch the opponent. Combined with this, so Jiren really controls the zoning game here, or the game of the far range zone. He really controls this space. So your opponent has to be really wary, and it's ridiculously fast. The opponent stands. This is a 27 frame move that Jiren can throw off the ground, so this is a good move that Jiren can throw out. Now Jiren's 236S, as you saw there, yes, this beats projectiles. So if Kefla was to throw out her, do it again. Jiren goes straight through. So Jiren can actually do this on reaction. So Jiren, this is a good tool for Jiren to approach from this range. However, versus the 5S's as well, you see that? So Jiren can really use this versus these characters. So really zoning out Jiren, or when he's in the far range with your 5S's, is really hard for a lot of characters. Against big Jiren. Jiren 2-on-4S as well. Once it starts, he will grab his opponent immediately. So Jiren has this as well. He can use 2-on-4S. So your opponents cannot use projectiles versus Jiren. He has 2-on-4H as well. This is for non-projectiles. So if my opponent was able to do, I can just do this. So Jiren's 2-on-4L gives him this counter option here. So if we combine that with Jiren being -7 or -8, Jiren gets to combine all of these options to really pounce out his opponents. If you look at the damage, quite a bit of damage. So these are very damaging. If you combine this with his H version, if you look at your health, is just evaporating. So Jiren can really evaporate your health with kind of well-timed counters, with obviously 2-on-4M, which is obviously the low version. Jiren primarily uses this if the opponent does a low move. However, a lot of this can actually be used in strings, because obviously he's got really good recovery. So Jiren can do this, really catches opponents off guard, especially if your opponent's crouching. This actually can hit a lot of opponents as well. So Jiren uses this in strings versus a lot of characters, and you can really catch his opponents off guard there. So that's something that Jiren uses as well. He's 2-on-4, 2-3-6, sorry. Let's go back. So he's 2-3-6L, and 2-3-6M, and 2-3-6H. Kind of one of Jiren's enders of combos. So this is what you can use with Jiren to end a string. So Jiren will kind of use this in a string combined with obviously characters, and really set up situations where it's really hard for your opponent to kind of react to. So that's something Jiren will use as well. Jiren also has his 2S, which works the same as, put the opponent on Super Dash. It works the exact same as obviously his 2H, but the range is ridiculous for Jiren, so that's something Jiren can use as well. Now I could spend forever going through Jiren's specials and how to use them, but let's go straight into it, right? Let's go straight into the win conditions and the game plans. So Jiren, yes, you guessed it, at a glance, Jiren does damage. So one of the biggest win conditions for Jiren is simply being in your face at a range where 2L is here. So 2L is kind of Jiren's party starter. Because Jiren is able to activate 2L from 5LL. But being in this position when he's close to his opponent, Jiren is able to either hit them with command grabs, where Jiren has a lot of damage. So having bar with Jiren, having at least 1 to 2 bars so Jiren can activate a lot of damage, and having his counters is one of the big conditions for Jiren. So damage and having characters that allow him extensions. So let's go delve into that. So conversions for him, as the corner is a very, very great place, because Jiren in the corner can really mix up the opponent with good assists here, combined with assists that have some form of block stun. Jiren's there, so conversion. So with Yamcha being able to land this 2S for a lot of characters really helps Jiren. So Jiren obviously himself can obviously extend as well by himself, but he wants to be the ability See there? He wants the ability to obviously get the corner carry and get the corner. Once you're in the corner, that's when Jiren's games can start. So very easy with Yamcha. However, with UI Goku as well, easily getting the corner from obviously the mid range. So having conversions with Jiren, no matter how far. See, obviously with UI Goku close to the corner. Oh, I can do that. I'm terrible. See, there with UI Goku, easy conversions for Jiren if I want to take the corner, or just do a normal extension. Because Jiren's 2H will get knocked down. So the closer they are to the corner, and the damage really helps Jiren, because most of his hits are medium starters. So having characters that allow him to convert, he really enjoys. So we see that with Yamcha and with UI Goku. Another thing that helps Jiren is characters that allow him to stagger. So Jiren is obviously characters can really press buttons in certain places versus Jiren. But Jiren being able to kind of stop his opponent. Yes, he has counters, but Jiren being able to continue his staggers and really hit his opponent, punish them for pressing buttons. Jiren really enjoys it. See, Kefla's obviously got time to press 2L. It's 5L there. So Jiren loves characters that allow him to obviously stagger with impunity or counter the clear who's pressing buttons. So you see that with Yamcha, UI Goku, obviously as well. So you see these two assists are really helpful for him, allowing Jiren to stagger, because that's one of his strengths. Jiren hitting you with a medium. And just having the assists available to really help him. So you see these to help him. Let's look at their B assists. It seems like both of their A assists were really helpful anyway. But they both have Kamehameha. So let's see Kamehameha. So extensions for Jiren. Kamehameha probably not. Let's see this. Probably be a bit far for Jiren. So let's get Yamcha's. See, Jiren is still able to get conversions. Because that help him unlock some damage, but the reach of Yamcha and the way the comboing is probably a bit hard for Jiren. So probably a bit hard for Jiren comboing. Let's see UI Goku's assist. It's obviously a bit different, a bit slower. Take it a bit faster. Oh, a bit faster than that. So Jiren, obviously you can get an extension there. I'm pretty bad. So there we go, Jiren. Jiren's able to get an extension there, and obviously leading straight back to his biggest win condition, his opponent being in the corner, and him having an assist, and obviously meter really allows Jiren to, because of his damage, having meter at all times really allows Jiren to unlock that damage. So that's really helpful for him that we can use Yu Goku's B assist. Now let's go to their C assists. So Jiren, while he's moving around, confirming from obviously this 5S, that's really, really helpful. So Jiren can actually confirm from his 5S. So that's actually helpful for him getting a conversion as well from his 5S. Because obviously he can do that as well. So Yu Goku as well. Oh, you're probably not Yu Goku. Let's see Yu Goku again. Probably not Yu Goku assist for Jiren. So probably it might not be able to help you there. But with a bit of practice maybe. And staggers. So for stopping the opponent pressing buttons is what Jiren really enjoys. Or catching them out pressing buttons. So yeah, Yamcha's obviously CS is really, really helpful. So if I was to go here, so my opponent's now afraid to challenge. So because they're afraid to challenge, my opponent's gonna block, and this allows Jiren to set up situations like so. Oh, nearly got him. So here, various situations like that where it looks like Yamcha's gonna hit this. So my opponent knows they can't press there, and obviously with Yu Goku, it's a bit on the slower end, so probably not. So probably won't help there. Now let's go to the other side. We have Jiren with Kefla. So conversions, let's see, help from 5S. So probably she'll help from here. So yeah, obviously we got help from Kefla over there, so and obviously closer towards the corner, so that looks like it works there. And obviously in strings as well, if this Jiren was to press. Let's get him blocking. So it looks like I can hit them as well because of the speed of Kefla. I can really mix them up with Jiren. So using assist to kind of counter the opponent are really helpful for Jiren. Then we have Android 16. It doesn't like it helps from the 5S conversion range, however. From normal conversions, 16 looks like it's really helpful there. In staggers, probably not. Let's see if we're staggering using this move as well. Looks like 16 is a bit too close. Oh, it looks like it does hit. Oh, it looks like we can use 16 there as well. So using assist to kind of hit the opponent. As you saw there, I got hit. So yeah, it looks like we can use that as well. So that's something you got to think about when you're Jiren. Now, I could spend forever talking about what works for Jiren, win conditions, and game plans with Jiren. But let's talk about fighting this character. Because honestly, it seems like he has a lot. Now, fighting against Jiren, yes, he has the command grab up close. And he has the J2H. But his pressure up close outside of command grab gives you no reason to not hold down back. So yes, Jiren is doing all of this pressure. Jiren is doing all of this pressure, trying to bait you to press buttons, but there's no reason for your opponent not to hold down back. So your opponent can literally just wait to react. Especially Jiren, there's nothing he can do here, especially at these ranges here, except for waiting for obviously a grab. So that's something Jiren players have to think about while they're pressuring you. Is without assist, except for command grab, there's nothing that he's really going to do here. Except for that, his grab when his cancel draw is slow. And the most important is Jiren requires a lot of resources if the fight is going to far to mid-range to really keep up. So yes, if Jiren gets a hit from here, not only will he have to vanish, if he really wants to do the damage, to justify this damage, here to justify kind of that damage or staying at that far range, Jiren's only going to do about 2,000 or 3,000 of damage, and he gets the knockdown. But to really, really hurt you at a range where he's really strong, Jiren needs obviously C assist to kind of get the damage here. So here we talked about Yamcha. to really make those hits count. Otherwise, your opponent's not really going to care being at the far range. So when Jiren's chasing a life lead or trying to really start a game plan from here, it's really hard for him to really scare the opponent from this range, unless he has obviously a C assist, a beam assist, or something that really hits his opponent and really makes his opponent think about fighting at ranges here. Otherwise, Jiren from this range is going to be just doing JS's that are just trading with the opponent and not really amounting to much. So that's something you really have to think about when you are playing as Jiren. Let's go back to character select screen before I stay here forever. So we talked about with Jiren, we spoke about with Jiren how one of the biggest win conditions for Jiren, most of his hits are mediums. His 2L is an M starter. He's got all of these M's and he is really help. He staggers you a lot, so damage is on the table for Jiren. So having partners that allow him to put you into the corner faster, so you can do the J2H mix-ups or the command grabs and getting really big damage, he really relies on having partners that give him extensions. So conversions as the corner is a great place for him. So conversions from 5H full screen, from his 5H, from staggers, from obviously from air hits. Jiren really enjoys partners that help him. So we saw there with Yamcha's A assist and UI Goku's A assist and UI Goku's B assist are really helpful. We also saw with C assists, Jiren really enjoys the 5S full screen into a full conversion, which is really helpful for him. We also saw that he has great strings, so he can go 5LL into 2L into 214M and really bait the opponent to pressing buttons. So if Jiren combines that with assists that allow him to stagger, so we saw with Yamcha assist was really helpful. We saw with Kefla A assist. These assists really allowed, and also UI Goku's A assist really allowed him to stagger. So that's why you probably might see Jiren comboed with obviously Vegeta assist. You might see him with Android 18's barrier assist. So assists that allow Jiren to stagger and continue his pressure, and really so while his opponent is blocking, the opponent's like, okay, so when is it my turn to play? So Jiren can keep pressuring with that 2-0, it being only -2 as well. Fighting against Jiren, we talked about his pressure up close outside of command grab gives you no reason to not hold down back. So while you're holding down back or holding 1 or 3, Jiren isn't really enticing you to stop holding down back. You can either even backdash. During a lot of Jiren's pressure, backdash is even an option there as well. And we spoke about fighting against Jiren. He requires a lot of resources if he's going to be fighting you to far to mid range to really keep up. So while you are at far range as well, Jiren has to be really proactive. So he has to throw out his 5S really early. But if his opponent is already at that range, unless he has a C assist full screen or a beam assist or something that really locks down the opponent, fighting at that range, Jiren always has to have the ability to vanish, to land level 3, to really land big damage, to warrant him being full screen, even though that's where he's at his strongest. But we saw there with 236S and getting in, Jiren is really strong at getting in towards his opponent, but it's about fighting in and getting into that mid to close range that is something you have to work on with Jiren. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. Please leave a comment if you did. As always, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.